Ah, que merda, viu, mano? Fazer live no PlayStation é essa bosta, essa porra. Do nada fecha na tua cara, velho. Vai tomar no cu, mano. É, ele salvou. Continuar, que se foda.
You? Here? How extraordinarily rare. To what do I owe the honor?
Enough, Beryl. Did you speak with Feng?
I'm not one to keep an eye on the comings and goings of your retainers.
Did you speak to her?
So much fuss about nothing.
You know very well what she is to me, and what she'll be soon.
If the prince authorizes it...
It's only a matter of time.
I sincerely hope so. I ran into her recently, it's true, but we hardly said a word to one another.
Stop it right now. I know you saw Feng. Right here. I already told you not to speak to her again.
Come again?
Don't try to deny it. You spoke to her.
Fine. She came here. I don't see what the problem is.
What exactly is driving you?
Unlike you, I don't try to control the lives of those around me. Feng still enjoys a certain degree of freedom, doesn't she? To choose whom she sees. We ran into each other by accident, and we didn't speak for long.
Isso não é bom. Nossa, velho. 5 acertos, 2 erros. Pô, esse jogo tá bonzinho, né? É meu culpa cinzeiro também, não?
I spoke with her. She told me that you summoned her.
Summoned? Please be serious. I don't summon people.
No, that's not your style.
I did ask her to stop by. There was no obligation. None whatsoever. And I don't think she regretted our meeting at all. I really don't see the harm in it.
It's not your business to understand.
I'd really like to, though. I just wanted to give her some advice. To help guide her through this brave, dangerous new world. When it comes to that, I don't think you're doing enough. Am I mistaken?
Que filho da puta. Não vai dar certo.
You needn't worry. She's been introduced to everyone. I don't intend to leave her defenseless among the drooling predators skulking in the corners. And she might just surprise you.
I'm sure she will.
She's worth far more than your estimations.
Is she worth more than me?
Are you sure you want an answer to that?
All right, all right. I never took you for the fatherly sort. But I guess anyone at any age is vulnerable to the winds of change. Your concern for Feng is to your credit. It really is. However, I can't help making comparisons with my own past experiences.
You shouldn't.
It was long ago, I admit. But I'm still your only child.
You're jealous.
I'm not jealous. Although I do regret the unfortunate turn our relationship has taken.
Droga.
I'm worried about Feng,
vai dar
honestly. You would worry too if you were in my shoes. I just want to make sure she doesn't go through the same thing I did. The crushing weight of disappointment. The distance. The disdain.
Beryl, I'm sorry. I made a mistake with you.
Mistake? What, pray tell, did you ever do to make things go awry? You dropped me in a hornet's nest and left me to dodge the stings. I've been nothing but alone from the very start. You gave up, Caleb. And did you ever once consider fixing your mistake?
That's why I'm doing things differently with Fang. I don't want to make the same mistake again.
Ah, such eloquence, which never ceases to surprise me. You've always wielded words with such deadly skill. But there is one small detail it seems you have forgotten. You won't be there for her much longer.
What?
Think about it. You're the oldest person in this city now. It gnaws at you like it does all the elders. You can feel it inside you, and it will grow and grow until you finally give in. How long do you think it will be before you leave too?
Que filho da puta. Você não tá me ameaçando, meu irmão. Esse aqui não tem como. Esse aqui o máximo que eu posso fazer é empatar. Dá pra mim ganhar nesse aqui. Eu preferi usar persuasão, né? Mas nos pontos não vai ajudar.
You feel the beckoning too. You're not much younger than I am. But you're far weaker. I'll be able to resist as long as it takes to finish my work here. But will you?
I don't know.
That's the difference between you and I. I don't doubt. I will stay.
If I understand you right, and I think I do, we're of the same mind. With a few minor differences.
Is that so?
We both want what's best for Fang. So then why can't I see her?
Intimidação, porque eu posso perder a paciência. Eloquência. Vai dar ruim isso aqui. Eu não vou me arriscar não, vou botar tudo pra fuder nisso aqui. Toma. Sabia. Sabia que ele ia jogar mais um.
It's quite simple. Either you do what I say, or I'll take more radical measures.
There's no need for that. I'm sure we can find common ground.
You don't come near Fang again, and I won't tear you limb from limb.
I was thinking of something a little more...
It's non-negotiable.
I see. I'll have to settle for that.
You'd better.
I just wanted to make sure she knew what she was doing here. I didn't think you'd react like this.
You didn't think I'd find out.
Don't turn this into a witch trial. If I've acted badly, it was with good intentions. But I've heard your message loud and clear. I'll bear it in mind.
Just keep your distance, and everything will be fine.
Yes, you've made yourself very clear.
One more thing.
A little bird told me about your operations in South America.
My dear sire, for someone I thought had no interest in business, you're remarkably well informed.
Nothing can stay hidden from the court forever.
Where's the harm in it?
Your actions have consequences for the Camarilla that you haven't considered. You could endanger the Masquerade. Don't you think you should speak to the prince about it?
I don't see how my personal business concerns her. She's already having enough trouble getting us out of this mess she's dragged us into.
You hold her responsible for this?
She's in charge, isn't she? She hosted the party. It's only natural to hold her accountable, isn't it?
If the court were to hear what you just said...
Ha! Do you really think I'm the only one who thinks this?
You'd best be going.
I wasn't planning on staying. Be sure of that.
It's been a pleasure. Please excuse me if I don't see you out.
I hope he understood this time. He won't get another warning.
E esteja avisado.
Caleb.
Caius again. They locked it down. Too late to go see him. Hazel is probably ready to see me now. I won't make her wait.
The soldier is on furlough.
Not for long, I'm afraid. The prince will undoubtedly have some new task for me.
At least she trusts you. She hardly speaks to her primogen. Even Beryl is in the dark.
He's not used to that. It'll be good for him.
Se ela for traidora.
I heard you were doing business with him.
It's something to do with the Rosemont Society, my foundation. Why?
Fuck. Ainda assim não vai dar bom, cara.
Now is not the time to be hiding things, given the circumstances. If the prince were to hear about shady business dealings, heads would roll.
She wouldn't take someone's head over so little. We're taking advantage of a springboard for young artists in order to improve our profits.
In other words, you're rigging a competition to make money.
Bravo. You know how to read between the lines.
I call it like I see it.
Coming from you. All I can tell you is that Beryl's really the one who is in charge of it. Are you still not talking?
You could say that.
Any regrets?
I'm planning to make up for it with Fang.
Oh, so that's why you've become attached to that girl.
I'm not attached to her. She's an asset for the Camarilla, and a necessary balance to temper Beryl's wicked games.
Personally, I find that giving a child so much power is dangerous. The problem is that you have to watch them all the time. Otherwise, they end up making a mess of things.
But trying to influence them is pointless.
You must be subtle about it, that's all. I give Mem just enough freedom so that she doesn't completely hate me. But I know exactly how to make her do whatever I want. Do you really think you'll have time to embrace Fang?
What do you mean?
Well, with all the elders gone, who knows who'll be next?
That's not something I'm willing to discuss with you.
Suit yourself.
No, excuse me, I have to go.
Of course.
Ok. Gastando ponto pra caralho de diálogo, velho.
There's no point in insisting.
The prince didn't ask you for your opinion.
Hazel can't just ignore me and then call me in like this. Now get out of here before I make your blood boil.
Mr. Siaka, you're taking a big risk.
Goodbye.
Asshole.
Ô louco.
Sorry, I don't really have time for this.
Tá tudo bem, irmão?
Now she's sending you.
Run into some trouble with the prince?
That's a question to ask Hazel. She's the one who doesn't know what she wants.
You seem unusually tense. Are you sure she's the problem?
Obviously, the whole situation is a nightmare.
Massa, hein, jogo?
But Hazel's not helping. She's obviously overwhelmed, and I'm not the only one who thinks so. I don't know how you still put up with her.
You owe your place in the Primogen to her.
Muito bom, hein?
What, you think I don't know that?
Conversando com a
I've always
testa
done my
mesmo.
best to keep her from screwing things up. But when she reached out to Hartford,
Is there a problem with Hartford?
I told Hazel we can't trust them.
Do you have any evidence to support what you're suggesting?
She doesn't know Deneb the way I do. She wouldn't listen to my warnings.
Her plan was bold.
Risky is a better adjective. After what happened last night, I'm not sure you realize just how deep the shit we are in goes.
And I suppose you have the solution?
Maybe. Not that I'm happy about it. There's interesting stuff going on in other places. Boston's not the center of the universe.
We don't know who can be trusted. This is no time to leave. If the prince has kept you in the dark, she must have had a good reason for it. Just look at what happened.
Open your eyes, Caleb! The Boston Camarilla is crumbling before our eyes! What are the odds we survive?
Hazel has things under control. We'll get through this.
I have a hard time believing that. We have to prepare for the worst.
This kind of talk is beneath you.
You know what it's like! To feel called to be elsewhere.
That has nothing to do with this. Salem isn't elsewhere. You won't be any safer there.
It's just a starting point. We thaumaturgs will find a way to deal with it.
I see that you've planned for everything.
I've already lost too much time. You shouldn't waste your time either.
If you leave, Hazel will catch up with you.
What do you mean?
You know, she doesn't like people who have been disloyal, especially now.
Hazel doesn't need new enemies. She should be wary.
Be careful.
Goodbye, Caleb.
Tá bom, irmão. Tá avisado. Abre teu olho, mano. Abre teu olho.
Sorry, Mr. Bazori. Miss Story's quarters are off limits.
What's going on here?
Mr. Leto's orders. We've got to clean up.
É o quê? À frente. Sai.
I'm sorry, you can't go in there.
Viu? Eita! O lugar diferente. Então ele tá trancado aqui, mas só tipo. Design estranho do prédio, né? Tá, já olhei os dois lados.
I've seen princes come and go. In the end, it always comes down to a struggle for power between the prince and their primogen. Hazel is strong, but will she last much longer?
Tá, tem que descer agora. Tem que ir lá falar com a Hazel, não tem jeito, cara. Onde que é? É aqui?
There's no point in hanging around here bothering me. It's gonna take me a while.
Very well, Mr. Sheridan. Please excuse me.
I can't wait to be done with this.
Ah, os caras estão queimando. Uma queima de arquivo.
It's like we spent all these years working for nothing.
Tá, eu não vou perder tempo não, cara. O jogo tá me dando alerta já. April. Caralho, eu voltei aqui. Eu tô perdido, mano. Não, não acredito que eu... Não! Onde é que eu vou? Falar com o príncipe, cara? Elevador?
The prince is ready to see you.
Ah, tomara que não dê merda, cara.
Great.
Caleb.
My prince.
We were expecting you.
How may I be of service to you this time?
One thing at a time. The situation has changed. The money is gone. The accounts have been emptied.
What? That's impossible.
Only Jason Moore could have transferred the money. The situation is dire.
Moore would never have done it on his own. He would never have dared.
I agree. It's much too bold a move for him. And that's what concerns me the most. Someone used him to attack us. Someone who was extremely well prepared.
Alguém que usou nos atacar. Esse alguém estava extremamente bem preparado. Barrow faz um jogo perigoso. A capela de Hartford. Alguém da Camarilla. Os anarques. É alguém da Camarilla. A gente descobriu na live passada que tem um traidor aqui.
It might be one of our own.
That's what I think. It's the most plausible explanation.
If there's a traitor among us, I'll have their head.
One thing at a time. I'll take care of the traitor, personally. Failure is a luxury we will soon be unable to afford. If you have nothing more to say, we can move on to the reason I sent for you.
Voltei. Vamos falar do motivo da sua convocação.
What did you think about Richard Dunham's file?
Money that should be going to me seems to go missing whenever he touches it. Richard is far too important to me. I can't afford to upset him now. But if his research doesn't pay off soon, I won't hesitate to show him my disappointment.
Sobre o arquivo da Jara.
Did you read Jara Drory's file?
I wish I'd never seen it.
There's too much I despise in it.
She never mentioned she was monitoring the Primogen's finances. Or this, Catapotis. What on earth is it?
I've got no idea.
It doesn't add up. It seemed important to her.
But she's not here to shed any light on it.
I'm listening.
I've asked for your presence here because I have a new mission for you. Delsin was able to track down the men who attacked us.
It wasn't easy, but it was impossible for them to disappear without leaving a trace after what they did yesterday.
Where are they hiding?
Long Island.
Yes, of course. An abandoned facility just off the coast. An old fort. It's the ideal place for a secret base.
And certainly much more. Who knows what they're up to out there?
How is it we didn't notice a thing?
They have abundant resources, and we're short on eyes.
It doesn't matter. We'll find the people responsible for the situation later. Our most pressing issue is preventing them from striking us again.
How?
You're going to go there and kill their leader.
Sending me there. That seems to be a rather bold choice.
I don't see anyone better for the job.
Infiltration isn't really my specialty.
You'll be dealing with Kine. You'll be a fox in a henhouse. I'm not worried about you. And Delsin knows how to get you in.
Oh, that changes everything.
They evacuated the bodies from the site of the party, which is how we were able to pick up their trail.
There's a small, nondescript warehouse at Jeffrey's Point. As far as we can tell, their transfers from Boston to Long Island are made by boat. To avoid drawing attention to themselves, they've chosen to employ only small craft. There are bodies packed in the warehouse waiting to be shipped over. Do you get the picture?
You want me to disguise myself as a body to be evacuated?
Exactly. All you have to do is stop simulating your vital functions for a few hours.
It's risky.
It's risky, but it's now or never. We might never get another opportunity. We have to try.
The last transfer is probably going to take place tonight. After that, there's no way of knowing when we'll get another chance.
I need to know the details.
Let us worry about getting you into the warehouse. We've made all the preparations. You won't have to worry about a thing until you get to Long Island.
We know where they are. Why go through their warehouse?
Charging into Long Island blind would be far too risky.
And with a traitor in our midst, I'd rather keep this to a small circle of trusted people, to avoid any other unpleasant surprises.
And after that?
Once you're on the island, You'll be in uncharted territory. You'll be on your own.
Who is my target?
Walter Stanford.
He's the head of the Boston Task Force. He's part of what they call the Society of Leopold.
Someone else will take his place.
No need for you to worry about that for the time being. Your mission is to eliminate Stanford, and that's all.
What do we know about this Stanford?
Not much. They're very careful. He was sent from the Vatican, and he brought other fanatics with him. If he's here, it means that Rome has faith in him, and that can't be good for us.
He's got to be taken out.
Sociedade de São Leopoldo.
What's the Vatican getting out of all this?
Your guess is as good as mine. But it seems that the kind are trying to get a better understanding of us in order to hunt us more effectively. These priests have been our enemies for ages. They have knowledge.
Putting an end to them is crucial. We must keep our enemies from unifying their strength.
Ah, tá. Nossa, vai ter... Tem algum plano B?
I don't wish to be the bearer of ill tidings, but what if I fail? Do you have a backup plan?
Caleb, you won't fail. You're our only hope. We place all our trust in you to complete this essential mission.
There's no room for error, Bazori.
Aren't you worried someone will tip off the SI? There's still a traitor among us.
The traitors, my department. You need to strike quickly, and don't let anyone know of your plans. We can't take the slightest risk.
All right. I've heard enough.
Very well. Then you should get going. We've already lost enough time.
Very well. My prince.
Pô, então já sabe do traidor. Pô, vai ser notícia. A bagulho a mina lá vai ser notícia velha, cara. Ah, foda-se. Nenhum fracasso. Ok. E agora? O que vai ser? Beleza. Ela. 200 pontos para distribuir. Eu vou... Disciplinas. Eu vou dar uma aumentada nas paradas aqui que tá foda, velho. Eu vou aumentar a sabedoria. Persuasão e eloquência. Só me sobrou 50 pontos. Puta que pariu. Psicologia. Pode ser. E aí eu habilito segurança e tecnologia. Vambora.
I'm guessing you tipped Bazori off to the traitor?
Yes.
Any news?
Nothing since Richard's report. My city is in danger. Everything I've built, all the dreams I've invested. That Judas is a threat to everything.
Not for long. You'll bounce back.
Yes. Congratulations on your negotiations with the Chantry. Our agreement with Hartford is crucial.
Your wish is my command.
I always knew I could count on you. You're a true ally, a loyal one, a future asset in my primogen. But one thing at a time. Before we get there, I have another favor to ask of you.
What a surprise.
About what I told you earlier concerning Delsin and Long Island. I've got a plan.
Oh, I know that look. Hazel.
This is the best moment to strike.
That sounds like the definition of rushing into things.
Yes, but we have no choice. Delsin?
We need to blind them. From the inside. They know too much about it. We have to change that. For that, we need someone to hit them with a surprise attack from within their compound.
I wish that person luck.
It's you.
That's way out of my league.
Hazel's not asking for your opinion. You proved you were reliable with Hartford. We need your skill sets for such a risky and vital task.
That's precisely what's got me on edge.
It's your chance to prove to the court once and for all that you deserve a place on the council, MM. After this, you'll be untouchable.
I sure hope so. All right. How do I get on this island? By boat?
I doubt it. Coastline's under surveillance.
So I swim across. All right. What then?
Kaya's wrote a program that can help us. If you can upload it into their system, it'll corrupt all the data they've got in their database. Their systems, the archives, it'll all be lost.
Allowing us to cover our tracks.
It's our best shot at making it through this. You'll just have to insert it into a computer that's on their network. That's absolutely essential. Any questions?
Eita porra. Não podemos fazer isso remotamente?
Your plan sounds pretty old school. There's no way to do that remotely?
We've tried, but Leto's agents weren't able to breach their security. Their network's too highly protected. That's why we need you.
I see.
Posso levar alguém comigo?
Am I allowed to take a partner? I'd feel a lot better about this if I had someone covering my back.
I understand, but that's not possible. We're already taking a risk by sending a person in to infiltrate their hideout.
Got it.
Vamos lá, vamos embora.
So, let me get this straight. You want me to infiltrate the enemy base alone? The same enemies who just slaughtered half the camp.
Quit whining. You can have help.
Oh, really?
Your task will not be easy. You'll need a diversion while you sabotage their system. A raid near their base, for example.
That could work. Who will you send?
I refuse to sacrifice any more of our people. So we might as well send in the riffraff. The Anarchs could do the job.
Come again?
You heard me. I want you to go see them and convince them to go with you to Long Island.
You're trying to thin their herd.
I'm balancing the scales, that's all.
They can't stand us. They'll never agree to fight for us. Let alone on their own without us.
They don't have to know they'll be alone. Lead them to believe our forces will join up with them. The SI is a threat to the entire city. They're just as concerned as we are.
Send someone else to negotiate. A real emissary.
No one else knows the Anarchs as well as you do. They go to your clubs, don't they? They know who you are. They know they can trust you.
I barely know them. I see a couple of them once in a while, but that's it. We're not exactly friends.
You're still in the best position to negotiate with them.
Yeah. I'm not comfortable with the idea of sending them to be slaughtered. It's despicable.
It's just politics. And it's probably your only chance to come back in one piece.
What if I refuse?
I won't let you. Your conscience is of no concern to me. The only thing that matters is our survival. And too bad if it keeps you up at night.
The true face of the Camarilla. Right then. Let's say I agree.
You don't have a choice, but I'll humor you.
How am I supposed to go about it? I can't just go chasing down every Anarch I know to ask for their help.
There's only one Anarch that counts. Their Baron.
Randall Thane?
That's right. He's in charge of the various Anarch gangs in the region. I don't know where he is right now. You'll need to use your network.
I've got an idea of who I can ask. What can I use as leverage if they try to negotiate?
Money, favors. Offer them whatever seems useful.
All right.
One more thing. Don't tell anyone about your task, not even your sire. I don't want the Council poking their noses into this. That will be all. I'm counting on you, MM. Be careful, and good luck.
I'm gonna need it.
Tá fodida, mano. Você tá fodida, minha filha. Quer dizer, eu tô, né? Porque eu que vou controlar, né?
There you are.
A outra. Ih, lá
I'm
vem.
sorry I wasn't here to meet you when you got back. I was busy.
No worries.
I heard your little adventure with our guests was quite the success. Congratulations.
Thanks.
I was just about to go grab a bite. Join me?
Is that a question or an order?
Let's say it's a strong recommendation. One you can't really refuse.
That's what it sounded like. Please, lead the way.
Very well.
Is there something in particular you wanted to talk to me about?
Can't I simply offer you a drink without you reading something into it?
No.
All right, fine. Your new mission has been giving me pause to think.
I'm sorry, but I can't talk about it. Hazel made that exceedingly clear. If she thinks things are better like that, I believe her.
For God's sake, Amem, I'm your sire. You should trust me, not that snake in the grass.
Personally, I've never had anything bad to say about Hazel.
Unlike me. Is that it? You'd be singing a different tune if you knew what I know.
If I knew what?
Nothing. You wouldn't believe me anyways.
Filha da puta.
Fine. I'll just make your life miserable until you spill the beans.
Seriously?
You know how stubborn I can be when I want something.
Hazel's a smart woman. She knows what she needs to do to get what she wants. And she wants you.
That's going too far.
You think it's an honor, but you should really be worried. Hazel never does anything she's not sure she'll benefit from, which means she's got ways to make you bend to her will. She's careful to hide her secrets from you, safe behind her herald. Tonight could be your last chance to discover them. Very well. Let's move on.
Que ela tem contra o príncipe? Como é que é?
The reports from Richard and Leisha are truly frightening. I never thought I'd see a day like this.
Predators never see themselves as prey. We're going to have to be extremely cautious if we want to survive.
Do you have any plans?
No. I'm waiting for Hazel's orders. We're dependent on her now more than ever.
Puta que pariu. Tá, não dá pra me confrontar. Que merda. É uma bosta.
I wanted to ask you about something a little weird, if you've got a couple minutes.
I'm all ears. Is something wrong?
When I went to see the Tremere, I fell into a kind of memory trap.
What?
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Long story short, I lost some memories. Well, memory fragments.
De novo, cara! Mano, não dá pra jogar isso aqui não, velho.